friends, welcome to the Point. In this session, we'll be discussing about the preamble of the Constitution. This preamble, it first began in American Constitution and later on it was followed by so many countries including India. The term preamble, it refers to the introduction or a preface to the Constitution. Preamble contains summary of the Constitution. According to N.A. Palkhiwala, who is an eminent jurist and also a constitutional expert, he called preamble as the identity card of the Constitution. The preamble to the Indian Constitution, it is based on objective resolution, which is drafted and moved by Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, and it was adopted by the Constituent Assembly. The Constitution was amended in the 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act 1976. In this amendment, preamble got three new words called socialist, secular, and integrity. So what is the text of the preamble? Let's discuss about it. The preamble in its present form reads, "We the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic and to secure to all its citizens justice, social, economic and political, liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith and worship, equality of status and of opportunity, and to promote among them all fraternity, assuring the dignity of the individual and the unity and integrity of the nation. In our Constituent Assembly, this 26th day of November 1949, do hereby adopt, enact and give to ourselves this Constitution." What are the ingredients present in our preamble? The preamble reveals four ingredients, or we can also call it as a components. It is a source of authority, nature of Indian state, objective of the Constitution, and date of adoption of our Constitution. The preamble states that the Constitution derives its authority from the people of India. Nature of Indian state. It declares India to be a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic and republican polity. Objectives of the Constitution. This specifies justice, liberty, equality and fraternity as objectives. Date of adoption of the Constitution. This stipulates November 26, 1949 as the date. Keywords in the preamble. Let's discuss one by one. Sovereign. The word sovereign means that India is neither a dependency nor a dominion of any other nation, but it is an independent state. Sovereign also means that there is no other authority above it. That means it indicates that India is free to conduct its own affairs both internally as well as externally. Being a sovereign state, India can either acquire a foreign territory or cede a part of its territory in favor of a foreign state. Socialist. The term socialist, it was added in the preamble and the 42nd Amendment Act 1976. But before the term was added in our preamble, the Constitution, it had a socialist content in the form of directive principles of state policy. The Indian brand of socialism, it is a democratic socialism and it is not a communist socialism. We can also say this democratic socialism as a state socialism. This involves the nationalism of all means of production, distribution and abolition of private property. Democratic socialism, it holds faith in a mixed economy where both public as well as private sectors coexist side by side. Supreme Court says that democratic socialism, it aims to end poverty, ignorance, disease and inequality of opportunity. Therefore, Indian socialism is said to be a blend of Marxism and Gandhism, which is leaning heavily towards Gandhian socialism. Secular. The term secular, it was added in a preamble in the 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act 1976. In the year 1974, Supreme Court said that the word secular state, it is not mentioned in the constitution, and there is no doubt that our constitution makers, they wanted to establish a secular state, and that is why article 25 to 28 guarantees the fundamental rights to freedom of religion, and that is being included in the constitution. Our country, India, is said to be a secular state. Why? Because in spite of so many religions, irrespective of their population strength, all the people have the same status and same support from the government, and no partiality is shown to any religious. That is why India is said to be a secular nation. India is said to have a democratic polity. Democracy means it is a form of government in which the people exercise the authority of the government. A democracy means rule by people. The name is used for different forms of government where the people can take part in the decisions that affect the way their community is run. The people elect their own leaders, and these leaders, they take the decisions about the laws, and this is commonly called as representative democracy. Democracy is of two types: direct democracy and indirect democracy. In direct democracy, the people exercise their supreme power directly, as in the case of Switzerland. In Switzerland, there are four devices of direct democracy. They are referendum, initiative, recall, and plebiscite. Referendum, it is a procedure which is proposed legislation, and it is referred to electorate for the settlement of their direct votes. Initiative, it is a method by means of which the people, they can propose a bill to the legislature for the enactment. And recall, it is a method by means of which the voters can remove a representative or an officer before the expiry of his term when he fails to discharge his duties properly. Plebiscite, it is a method of obtaining the opinion of people of India on any issues of public importance, and generally it is used to solve the territorial disputes. Indirect democracy. The representatives are elected by the people, and they exercise the supreme power and thus carry on the government, and these representatives, they make the laws. This type of democracy is known as representative democracy, and it is of two kinds, like parliamentary democracy and presidential democracy. Republic. A republic, it is a form of government in which the country is considered as a public matter, not the private concern or property of the rulers. The primary positions of power within a republic are attained through democracy, oligarchy, autocracy, or the mix thereof, rather than being unalterably occupied. A democratic polity, it can be classified into two categories. One is monarchy and other is republic. In a monarchy, the head of the state, usually the king or queen, enjoys the hereditary position, and that is, he comes to office through succession, example like Britain. And in a republic, the head of the state, he is always elected directly or indirectly for a fixed period of time. Example, USA, India, etc. And therefore, the term republic, it is mentioned in our preamble. It indicates that India has an elected head called president, and he is elected indirectly for a fixed period of 5 years. Justice. The term justice in the preamble, it indicates three forms like social justice, economic justice, and the political justice, which is secured through the provision of fundamental rights and directive principles. Social justice means it denotes a equal treatment of all the citizens without any social distinction which is based on caste, color, race, religion, sex and so on. So social justice means it is the absence of privileges which is being extended to any particular section of the society and the improvement in the condition of backward classes like SCs, STs and OBCs and the women. Next comes economic justice. It denotes the non-discrimination between the people on the basis of economic factors. Economic justice also involves the elimination of glaring inequalities in wealth, income, and property. A combination of social justice plus economic justice, it denotes distributive justice. And next, finally, is political justice. It implies that all the citizens should have equal political rights and equal access to all the political offices and equal voice in the government. The ideal of justice is social, economic and political, which has been taken from the Russian Revolution. In the year 1917, liberty. The term liberty means it is the ability to do as one's please. In the modern politics, liberty is said to be the state of being free within the society from oppressive restrictions imposed by the authority on one's way of life, behavior or political views. The preamble secures to all citizens of India liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith and worship through their fundamental rights, which is enforceable in the court of law in case of violation. Equality. The term equality means the absence of special privileges to any sections of the society and the provision of equal opportunities for all the individuals without any discrimination. The preamble secures to all the citizens of India the equality of status and as well as opportunity. This provision, it embraces three dimensions of equality. They are civic, political and economical. Fraternity. Fraternity means it is a sense of brotherhood. The Constitution promotes this feeling of fraternity by the system of single citizenship and also the fundamental duties. In Article 51A says that it shall be the duty of every citizen of India to promote harmony and the spirit of common brotherhood amongst all the people of India, transcending religious, linguistic, regional or sectional diversities. The preamble declares that fraternity has to assure two things, that is, the dignity of individual and the unity and integrity of the nation. The word integrity, it has been added in the preamble by the 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act 1976. Significance of the preamble. The idea of preamble is that a basic philosophy and the fundamental values that are political, moral and religious on which the Constitution is based on. Preamble contains the grand and noble vision of Constituent Assembly and it reflects the dreams and aspirations of the founding fathers of our Constitution. In other words, we can say that Sir Alladi Krishnaswamy Iyer, a member of the Constituent Assembly, he played a significant role in making the Constitution. The preamble to our Constitution, it expresses that what he had thought or dreamt so long. And according to K.M. Munshi, a member of the drafting committee of the Constituent Assembly, he says that the preamble is horoscope of a sovereign democratic republic. And Pandit Thakur Das Bhargava, another member of Constituent Assembly, he summed up the importance of preamble like the preamble is the most precious part of the Constitution and it is the soul of the Constitution. Preamble is a key to the Constitution. It is a jewel set in the Constitution. It is a proper yardstick with which one can measure the worth of the Constitution. And next, Sir Ernst Barker, a distinguished English political scientist, he paid a glowing tribute to the political wisdom of authors of the preamble. He described the preamble as a keynote to the Constitution. Sir M. Hidayatullah, a former Chief Justice of India, he observed, preamble resembles the Declaration of Independence of United States of America, but is more than a declaration. Preamble is the soul of our Constitution, which lays down the pattern of our political society, and it contains a solemn resolve which nothing but a revolution can alter. Is preamble a part of our constitution? This controversy was aroused about the preamble, whether it is a part of our constitution or not, in the Beruberi Union case and Keshavananda Bharati case. Let's discuss about the Beruberi Union case. We know that India and Pakistan's boundary was fixed by Sir Ratcliffe, and the line was called a Ratcliffe line. And however, some disputes arose between the earliest depiction of the maps by Ratcliffe Award, and one of such disputes was Beruberi dispute. This dispute, it rose due to the omission in the written text. And what was the text is, Ratcliffe had divided the district of Jalpaiguri between India and Pakistan by awarding some thanas to one country and others to the other country. The boundary line, it was determined on the basis of boundaries of the thanas. In describing this boundary, Ratcliffe omitted to mention one thana, that is Beruberi Union number 12, which lies in Jalpaiguri Thana and which was awarded to India. And however, the omission of this Thana on the map, it enabled the Pakistan to claim that a part of Beruberi belonged to it. And this dispute, it was resolved by Nehru-Noon Agreement 1958, whereby half of the Beruberi Union number 12 was given to Pakistan and the other half was given to India. And here, now the question arose regarding the power of the parliament to transfer the territory of Beruberi to Pakistan. And this is Beruberi Union case in the year 1960. The Supreme Court said that the preamble shows a general purpose behind the several provisions in the Constitution and thus a key to the makers of the Constitution of India. The Supreme Court said that the terms used in any article are ambiguous or capable of more than one meaning. Some assistance at interpretation may be taken from the objectives which are enshrined in the preamble of our Constitution. Despite this recognition of the significance of the preamble, the Supreme Court specifically opined that preamble is not a part of our Constitution. In the Keshavananda Bharati case, the Supreme Court rejected the earlier opinion and said that preamble is part of our Constitution. And it observed that preamble is of extreme importance and the Constitution should be read and interpreted in the light of the grand and noble vision which is expressed in the preamble. And also in the LIC of India's case, 1995, the Supreme Court again held that preamble as an integral part of our Constitution. See you in the next session with some other interesting topic. Thank you.